Alrighty, so we have Brian Boom Kelleher versus the returning Domingo Pilarte. So Domingo has been out for 18 months. Coming back now, he's got a 6-inch height advantage and a 10-inch reach advantage, which is quite sizable, quite significant for the weight class that these guys are at. Alright, so break down the strike into these two. So for Domingo, he's a southpaw. I get the vibe that he's okay with dishing out punishment, but not as okay with getting it thrown back at him. You know what I mean? Good hammer, bad nail. He'll throw a head kick or a body kick or a straight left. Likes to come forward, and then, if you throw stuff back at him, you'll back onto the fence pretty quickly and, kind of shell up and be very uncomfortable. And Kelleher, he does throw heat. He throws pretty much everything with intent. He has a big right hook, big lead left hook that he caught Hunter Azure with. So yeah, Kelleher does throw heat, and I feel like Domingo is going to be quite uncomfortable unless he's worked that out of his game in the 18 months he's been off, but I can't see it. So in regards to the grappling, Domingo is more of a wrestler anyway. Goes for the blast double leg. He uses those long limbs to secure the body triangle once he does have the back of his opponent. He's very active off his back in playing guard. Goes for an armbar off his back. He can be too comfortable in accepting bottom position. Like, it's going to work on the regional scene, but not in the UFC. You can't just keep accepting bottom position. It's just not an effective position. Judges don't rate it highly. You're not going to finish too many people off your back in the UFC, so it's just not a very effective position, and I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. One thing Domingo does is that he will stick his neck out when he is shooting, and Kelleher has a really nice guillotine trap to defend takedowns, so he does need to watch out for that. I think that's Kelleher's best grappling weapon. So yeah, he does need to watch out for that guillotine. How these guys win fights? For Domingo, he's got a good frame for the division, and for Brian Kelleher, he's durable, he's got a good chin, and on the other side, how these guys lose fights. So Domingo, I think he has a weak chin, gets dropped a lot in fights. I wouldn't be surprised if the weight cut's quite tough for him. He's got a huge frame for the division. What are they, 135ers? And he's 6 foot, and he's 74 inches in reach. Like, that's got to be a tough weight cut. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that's compromising his chin, but he just seems like he has a bit of a weak chin to me. And for Brian Kelleher, he's quite liable to be outworked, out-hustled by his opponent. Path to victory for these two. So for Brian Kelleher, be on the front foot, force the takedown shots of Pilarte, so he telegraphs them, and then you can look for your guillotine opportunities. When you're on the back foot, your guillotine opportunities aren't going to be as effective because you're going to be able to drive through, and also he's kind of dictating when he's going to shoot. But if you're on the front foot and you're pressuring him, you're dictating when he's going to shoot. You will as much as you can. You know what I mean? Also look for that left hook when Domingo overextends on his straight left, as he is liable to do. And for Domingo Pilarte, look to cage press. Be mindful of the guillotine when you do, go for takedowns. Take his back if he does give it to get back to his feet, because he will do that. For Kelleher, also look for takedowns and look for ground and pound on top. Watch for the armbars, but try and stack and punish him for even trying it, and really try and punish him for playing the bottom game. How I see the fight playing out? So I'm not sure if Kelleher is going to be winning the minutes, but I do feel like it's going to be pretty back and forth for the duration of the fight. I do see Kelleher finding a finish and finishing Pilarte. I'm vibing a guillotine. I think he's going to run into a guillotine. I feel like Pilarte is going to telegraph a double leg and then just kind of fall into the guillotine of Kelleher. The explosive takedowns and the forward pressure of Ricky Simone left Kelleher with no time for the guillotine. Also, he's just a much better wrestler than Pilarte. So that's why he couldn't find the guillotine, didn't have success with that in that fight. And, that's what you have to do if you first Kelleher. You have to be on the front foot, you have to be very tight with your takedowns, you have to have good technique, and you also have to, just be quick and efficient with your movements. Like, Domingo isn't really. Like, if you stuff Domingo's takedowns, he kind of just stalls on the double leg on the fence, which just gives, Kelleher the opportunity for a guillotine, just basically whenever he wants. If Pilarte is just going to stall against the fence. I even feel like off his back, Kelleher will be more active than Pilarte. Pilarte just kind of holds on in top position once he does get you down. He tries to pass to side control, but it's so obvious what he's about to do that the person on bottom is generally able to scramble out in time. And I feel like Kelleher will be able to do the same thing. Like, I guess Kelleher deserves to be the favourite because of his resume and the level of competition he's faced, but the dude can just lose to anybody, really. Like, you know, it wouldn't surprise me at all if he lost to a guy like Pilarte. But yeah, I do have Kelleher. I think he finishes it by a guillotine. Alright, so if you guys could like the video, that'd be awesome. Cheers. So, prediction is Kelleher by submission. You know, I think the line's basically correct. Probably Kelleher's a little bit too much of a favourite at the moment, but I don't want to bet Pilarte. Unless he gets like $2.70, plus 170, something like that, then maybe I'll look at it. Kelleher wins inside the distance. Oh, yuck, $2.25, no thanks. Ends in submission when that comes out, if that does come out. You know, if that's like $4 or plus 300, I might take a look at that, take a serious look at that, because 50% of Kelleher's fights end by submission. Domingo leaves a lot of openings for submissions, especially the guillotine, and Brian Kelleher leaves a lot of submission openings as well. So I think it does. Well, I think it's a very good chance to end in submission. So if that's like $4 or plus 300, that's probably the only action I'll have on this fight, unless the Pilarte money line improves a little bit.